Welcome to the second grade literacy training for this school year. I'm glad that you're here today. I wanted to tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Renee Sanders. I've been in education for 16 years. I've taught second grade, third grade, and first grade. And some of the things we're going to talk about today are some resources that are available online for you as the parent, and then we are going to spend some time going through a strategy, that's something that you can use at home to help your child. This is a link that will take you straight to the curriculum that we offer in our district. This will take you to the high frequency words that we offer as well. So this is what the website looks like when you get there. You have some options for elementary. These are all of the different grade levels that you will choose. You choose second grade, and on the second grade page you see lots of options here as well. It has second grade specific sight words or high frequency words. They have them in Spanish, and we also have a sight word list or high frequency word list that is all grade levels for you, and so you can just click on that and you can see or print that out. If you look below, you will see the actual curriculum, and you have the reading units of study, and then each unit is separate. You could click on any of those to see what is happening in the classroom. Writing units of study, same thing. Over here, you can click on any of those to see what is going on in your child's classroom. If you wanted to see the sight word list and maybe print it out, you just click on that and it will have a list right there for you to print out. If you want to see a list of all grade levels, you click on that button and it's color coded by grade level so that you can see what's specific. High frequency words, I feel like I need to explain just a little bit. Sight words are words that don't follow a particular pattern. High frequency words are words that are more frequent, and the list that are available to you that I just showed you they have high frequency words and sight words, so they're mixed together. Well, here's the deal. There's a lot of really effective activities that you can use to work with your child at home, and these are a list of some of those. One of the things that you need to know is that this high frequency words, there is a direct correlation between if your child knows those or not, and how well they read as a fluent reader. And so spending some time helping your child develop fluency or automaticity with these particular words will help them grow as a reader. So practicing on a dry erase board, making them with magnetic letters, writing the words out in shaving cream, using sand and salt, same purpose, using Unifix cubes to actually make the words. So creating an E, creating all the letters in a particular word, spelling out the words and highlighting vowels, using a variety of colors to rainbow write a high frequency word, stamping them out, using glitter glue just to make it fun, using flashcards to just practice them over and over again. That's something that you probably have used as yourself as a child, using Play-Doh to actually make the letters. Those are all great ways to help your child become automatic with them, and they should know them within 1 to 3 seconds. It should not be something that they have to stretch or decode. It should be really quick. Moving on to Writer's Workshop, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what your student is probably doing in class. So these are some of the things that they are doing. Their teachers have talked to them about why writers write in the first place, setting up their notebook where they do their writing, what are the expectations for them as the writer during Writer's Workshop, and getting ideas. In fact, this is one of the biggest things that for me personally as a teacher, kids would always say, "What do I write about?" And this has got to become a part of an everyday conversation. In fact, my daughter would get very sick of me saying, "Oh, you can write about that," because here's the thing, when you're having dinner and something happens that day at school, you can say, "Oh, you can write about that." car ride home. This is what happened at school today. You can write about that. They can have a notebook where they just carry it around and they go, oh, that's a good idea. But you have to prompt them to say, you can write about that. Making a list in phones. A lot of kids have phones these days. And if they don't, they can make a list in your phone. So it's kind of just an ongoing, kind of like a Rolodex of ideas, so that they never say the words, I don't know what to write about. And in Reader's Workshop, some similar things that they have been learning about: building reading habits, setting up a reader's notebook, and expectations. And some things that you can do at home, we're going to talk about specifically. So the teachers are using words like accountable talk, which means when they are talking about reading with you or with the teacher, they're doing things that are very meaningful. It's not literal comprehension. And so today I'm going to teach you a strategy. It's called Step In, Step Out strategy. And I got it from this particular blog. And this man does a lot of really, he provides a lot of really great activities that I have used in my classroom. And so this strategy is called Step In, Step Out. And what it means is stepping into the story to look at character choices. So this is it's somewhat literal, but it's taking it to the next step. So it's not who is the main character or who is the secondary character. It's talking about their choices. And stepping out means stepping out of the story to look at the author's choices. And I'm going to give you some specific examples so that you can see exactly what I mean by that. So to demonstrate on how to use this strategy, I'm going to do an interactive read aloud with you. Teachers use these in the classroom all the time. This particular text I'm going to use is called Officer Buckle and Gloria. And so you may or may not have heard this story before. And what I'm going to do, and what you're going to see me do, is I'm going to read the text, and then you'll see me stop and ask questions and interact with the text, which is the most important thing that we do as a reader. And in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade, most of the kids can read. They can decode these words. The problem is this stepping out of the text, stepping into the text is not easy for them. It does not come automatically. They do not know what they're supposed to be thinking. And so it is our job as teachers and parents to help support them in that endeavor. So let's get started on this Officer Buckle and Gloria text. Officer Buckle knew more safety tips than anyone else in Napville. Every time he thought of a new one, he thumbtacked it to his bulletin board. Safety tip number 77, never stand on a swivel chair. And so when I'm looking at this, I'm asking myself a question. Why did the author decide to write this part? Okay, now I don't want you to worry about there has to be a key to this and there's an answer that's exactly right. Asking the question and the conversation between you and your child is the most important thing. Okay, it's not about getting every question right. Officer Buckle shared his safety tips with the students at Napville School. Nobody ever listened. Sometimes there was snoring. Afterward, it was business as usual. Mrs. Topple, the principal, took down the welcome banner. Never stand on a swivel chair, said Officer Buckle, but Mrs. Topple didn't hear him. So my question for this one is, why are the characters making these choices? And so again, it's about the conversation with your child, but look around this character, and then he's talking about, why is Miss Topple doing that? And so why are the characters doing this? And so that's the question that I'm really asking. And so it's helping the student to get into the text, to start making some inferencing, to get ready for what's coming in the story. Then one day, Napville's police department bought a police dog named Gloria. When it was time for Officer Buckle to give the safety speech at the school, Gloria went along. Children, this is Gloria, announced Officer Buckle. Gloria obeys my commands. Gloria, sit. And Gloria sat. Why was this part of the story needed? So notice that none of these questions are literal, like, what is Gloria doing? Why, Officer Buckle, where is he? And that kind of thing. They're all very deep questions because we're stepping into the text and out of it. So this would be a conversation you have with your student. Why was this part needed? So that's a great question, and it's needed because, as we're not the author of this text, so we don't know the real reason. So we have to, again, it's just about the conversation and seeing what your child is thinking. Are they thinking beyond this text? Gloria could be there to, just to get the kids' attention. At this point in the story, we don't really know, but it's important for them to start thinking about it. Officer Buckle gave safety tip number 1. Keep your shoelaces tied. The children sat up and stared. Officer Buckle checked to see if Gloria was sitting at attention. She was. Safety tip number 2, said Officer Buckle. Always wipe up spills before someone slips and falls. The children's eyes popped. Officer Buckle checked on Gloria again. Good dog, he said. Officer Buckle thought of a safety tip he had discovered that morning. What happened because of Gloria's choice during the speech? So if we look right here, we can tell Gloria's doing what she's supposed to be doing. But if we look over here, she's not. So because of her choice, and now we're looking at her as a character, we can see that something's happening to the students. Like right here, the text tells me the children's eyes popped. So I'm looking for some evidence in this particular situation. Never leave a thumbtack where you might sit on it, the audience roared. Officer Buckle grinned. He said the rest of the tips with plenty of expression. The children clapped their hands and cheered. Some of them laughed until they cried. Officer Buckle was surprised. He had never noticed how funny safety tips could be. After this safety speech, there wasn't a single accident. So here I want to know, what do you think the author is trying to do here? Okay, is he trying to keep us interested, mislead us, feel sorry for the character? Because obviously Officer Buckle doesn't know what's going on. Okay, so, again, talking about what your student's thinking. I mean, I think that he's trying to keep us interested in the story, to let us know that something's going to happen specifically that we don't know yet, because we can see Gloria's doing this, she's doing this, she's doing this. The next day, an enormous envelope arrived at the police station. It was stuffed with thank you letters from the students at Knappville School. Every letter had a drawing of Gloria on it. Officer Buckle thought the drawings showed a lot of imagination. His favorite letter was written on a star-shaped piece of paper. It said, "You and Gloria make a good team. Your friend Claire. P.S. I always wear a crash helmet. Safety tip number 7. Officer Buckle was thumbtacking Claire's letter to his bulletin board when the phone started ringing. Grade schools, high schools, and daycare centers were calling about the safety speech. Officer Buckle, they said, our students want to hear your safety tips, and please bring along that police dog. What do you like about how the author wrote this part? And so when I look at this, I'm thinking very clever that the author chose to give you could see the actual letter, and you can also tell a lot about the character Officer Buckle, how he still really doesn't know what's going on. So the author is leading us in a certain direction. And so I would continue this particular process with my student until I finish the text. So after I finished it, I have some options on what I could do as possibilities for getting my student to retell the story to me. Using yarn is one of my favorite. And so what I have, and I'll show you some examples, I have different lengths of yarn. And so what I do is I have the students wrap the yarn around their finger until they run out of yarn. And they have to tell the entire story, or as much as it will allow, the length of the yarn. And so that makes them, and I also wouldn't let them use the text. I would make them do it without looking at the text. Jenga is another great way to do it. And how do you do this? Well, you make them make a stack of Jenga blocks, and then you pull one out with questions on it, and then you make them answer the questions. You could also have them write it on an iPad or a special notebook. There's a lot of other things that I'd like to share with you today, but we're running out of time. So I hope if you have any questions, you'll let me know. If you need to contact me or Miss Marshall at any time, here's our contact information, and here's hers. I hope that this was informative, and I hope you have a good time reading with your child. Remember, that's one of the most important things that you do, is sitting down and reading with them. They'll never forget the memories, and they'll become a better reader.